So now I'm going to take the flagger drag and use it in dragging mode, which means putting it flat against the leaf litter and pulling it by the string across the leaf litter, and maybe go about 10 meters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. And in that particular 10-meter stretch, we found one female.
Oh, nice.
So one female deer tick on the drag, the white corduroy drag, and this one female was collected in 10 meters. So you can see that this is a relatively productive site for deer ticks. And one female in 10 meters, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So if that was to work out on average, you could have 10 females in 100 meters.
Yeah.
So you get the idea of how abundant they could be. And that's probably pretty close to the density here, because I did 15 or 20 meters each of the last 2 times and collected 3 deer ticks both times. So there's a little bit of consistency there.
Yeah.
So it works out to maybe 1.5 deer ticks per 10 meters. Okay, so now we're in an area where there's a little more vegetation development. So I'm going to take the flag/drag and use it in more of a flagging format against the vegetation such as it is here, present in limited abundance. But here's a pretty good stand of some wild roses. We always try to increase our likelihood of finding ticks so that we can determine percent infection rates.
Right. Because you're not looking necessarily at abundance, you're looking at infection?
Well, from a public health standpoint, infection rate, or minimum infection rate, is a really important metric, because that gives you a good sense of the risk of acquiring a tick-borne disease. Density is also important too, and that's why we keep track of the number of square meters that we would flag or drag. So I just finished, I don't know, maybe 15 meters, and we did collect one additional female deer tick. So again, it's sort of speaking to the average that we saw a little bit earlier. So we were looking at the adult female on the drag, and she was waving her legs, her front legs, up in the air, sort of waving them around. And that behavior is called questing behavior. She's trying to sense or find a host, finding fur in the case of a mammal or feathers in the case of a bird to crawl up on. So it's always interesting to see the ticks stop and actually sort of sense their environment by waving their front legs around. And of course, when the adult female or adult male crawls up low vegetation, that's what they're doing. They're resting with their front legs up in the air, outstretched, waiting for a potential host to come by.